Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Walking with J.Beau. Pinched nerve in my neck is much better today. Hope you all had a wonderful extended weekend with Labor Day weekend. If not, I apologize. We're gonna do about 5.5 miles today. We did 6.5 yesterday. So I'm gonna do about a 5.5. We will have a little bit of traffic noise for a small part of it. There's Old Glory waving in the wind. So my friends, things are looking really good. Kamala lost another half point in the polls. Many experts are now predicting that by mid-September, after the debate, Kamala is not going to be polling very well at all. Now the popular vote is going to be kind of close like it usually is. But right now Kamala is 1 point ahead for the popular vote nationally. And I'm going by RCP average. I'm not going by one specific poll. And the reason for that is there really haven't been any that have been trustworthy, really, to pay attention to, for the most part. There's a lot of, shall we say, tomfoolery going on to try to fluff her up and promote her. And I think basically they are terrified of Trump winning, so the polling companies are trying to make sure he doesn't. As we have a very dead squirrel. Little bugger didn't make it. So these people are friggin' incorrigible, okay? The whole system is, they have turned Trump into another Hitler. I just really don't understand how people can allow themselves to be that manipulated. But now it is a systemic problem, top to bottom, in that our agencies hate Trump. And I'm talking about the leadership of the agencies, not the Joe Schmoes that work in it. You know, like the field agents for the FBI, for example. They're just doing their job. It's management, you know? So everything from Department of Human Services, HUD, you name it, whatever government agency with 3 letters, there's systemic rot in there. And they don't want Trump to win because Trump is a threat to their jobs, for one thing. And these polling companies make a lot of money from Democrats. And they got to keep the Democrats happy. Thanks. So they make a lot of people happy with polling numbers that they want. Now I got to tell you that Ipsos polling is really horrible. So's Bloomberg, and it's just so far ridiculously off. It's a joke. So anyway, I got to be careful not to step in a hole. There is one here somewhere. I just never remember where it is. I don't want to find it by accident because the disc in my back does not like it. Well, it looks like today I'm carrying a water jug. It's empty. I'm gonna look funny carrying it, but I'm not gonna leave that there because I want to shoot it. These things are awesome to shoot. 30-30 and 308, 30-06 slugs. So that's called shoot cycling. Yeah, now I'm stuck carrying it, but it's not heavy. So anyway, the polling. Well, internal polling has been giving the Kamala campaign some reality, finally. Trump is doing really well and they don't like it, and now when she's giving a speech, she's telling everybody, don't get complacent, we need to work like we're underdogs, because they've been trying to sell this thing where they're got this massive lead and they don't. You know, that's the media narrative. Despite 100% virtually of the media promoting Kamala, the DNC that they just had, all these people on there saying she's the greatest thing since whoever, and you know, she's not leading in the polls. A lot of the Democrat voters think they're leading in the polls because that's what the media tells them, but they're not. And as stated in previous 3 or 4 walks, Trump was 9 points better after the election than was said prior to the election in 2016. And he also finished up 5 points better in 2020 than the poll said he was. And the other thing is they had Biden at about 7% popular vote lead in 2020, and he barely won because of the battleground states. And that's going to happen again, except the problem for Kamala is, or Kamala, I have to say her name right or else I'm a racist. I'm a misogynist racist. Kamala is nowhere near 7%. In fact, she's behind Trump by, I'm guessing, 4%. So anyway, I'm just going by what leading experts say that have been doing this since the 80s. Trump is killing it with the working man and woman, small business, economy, people not wanting to starve to death, and people are sick and damn tired of this friggin' woke bullshit with this transgender ideology nonsense that people are getting very angry with. A very small portion of the public supports that. And the only reason why it's a thing is because of mega donors donating to Democrats and promoting it, because they're socialists from Europe and big corporations, and the media is owned by those same people. So this is a media activist funded scam, just like the whole climate thing. It's all to give them more power in DC with lobbyists. There's so much money behind it. That's really the thing. It's money. It's always money. So it's losing. Voters need to send a very strong message this fall, and I think they're going to. I think the Republicans are going to win the Senate, so we don't have to deal with Chuck Schumer. Mitch McConnell is retiring this year, he said, so we finally get rid of him. Now Chuck Schumer, okay, he's one of those old Jewish guys. I love the Jewish people. You need to understand, most of those men live to be about 100 years old. And Chuck Schumer is in his, I don't know, what is he, 70? Or his early 70s. He is going to be there for a long friggin' time, okay? He's not going anywhere soon. He'll be there for the next 20, 25 years, I'm sure of it. He'll be there when he's older than Dianne Feinstein was when she passed, and she was 89. So that's the sad truth of it. He will be the minority or majority leader, depending on which way the pendulum swings. But I'm telling you right now, if the Senate gains more seats, the filibuster is going to go away. And that's going to be all hell breaks loose by the Democrats if they ever get their reins on that kind of power in the Senate again. And ironically, the filibuster is only there because of Harry Reid, because he was tired of having his ass handed to him by Republicans. So it's like, it's great when it goes one way, but then when it goes the other way, they get all upset about it. So with that being said, we're going to continue on our journey. Now, if you're bored and you want to do something helpful, call the congressional call line at the White House. You can find the number on the internet. Just search for United States Congress, call to leave a message or something like that. Leave a message for Speaker Mike Johnson. Trump wants to have the SAVE Act included with the new funding bill, okay? This is a tactic that the Democrats have deployed against Republicans successfully in the past because they have the balls to do it. They have the media on their side to run all the propaganda. So Trump said, you have to pass the SAVE Act. Include it with the funding bill so the Democrats have to sign it. Democrats have already said they're not going to sign it. But that's their problem in an election year. Because the SAVE Act is about making our elections fair and requiring an ID to register to vote or to vote. So Democrats do not want people to have an ID because they want to cheat. They want illegals to vote. So if you require an ID to vote, that's going to eliminate millions of votes for the Democrats, illegal votes, and they don't want to do that, obviously. But in an election year, they're going to be pressured to pass the funding bill. And if the Republicans sell that just right, while Trump is leading in the polls, Trump has already made it clear to Mike Johnson that that has to be included with the funding bill. We have to have fair elections this year, or else they're going to cheat and steal the election. So now, Mike Johnson has to make a decision. He's either going to cave in to the lobbyist and be a rhino, or he's actually going to care and give a hoot and do what he's supposed to and get the SAVE Act passed. It might pass in the Senate because it's an election year. You currently have a couple of Democrats running for re-election in red states like Montana. Montana has a Democrat senator running for office against a Republican. And Montana is about as friggin' red a state as you can get. And the Democrat would like to win that. So there's a couple of states where, you know, either the Democrat is defending his seat or he's running for a new seat against a Republican where they're in a red state. So they are going to want to get on board with getting voters. So that's going to put them in a tough spot if the Democrats refuse to sign it, because they're going to have to come out and defend the Democrat decision, and it's going to hurt their election. So there's repercussions for all this stuff. So we'll see what happens with it. If the Republicans can pass it in the House and the Senate just throws it in a garbage can because Schumer's a schmuck, how do you explain to the public? How do you explain that? So that'll be the problem for them to figure out. The media is going to try to say what they've been saying all along, which, by the way, polling doesn't agree with it. Yeah, that's the other key thing, okay? Really important to acknowledge that. So we see more little flags on fences. Is with the American people, the majority of people support IDs to vote, because you need to use your ID for other things, and you only get about 30 to 40% that don't want it, and those are the people that have been inducted by the media propaganda that requiring an ID harms minorities and black people, because the Democrats think that black people are too stupid to have an ID on their own. They don't know how to find a DMV, and I guess they're saying they don't have the $25 or $30 to get an ID. Might not even be that much. And so there you have it. According to Democrats, black people don't drive, they don't own cars, they don't know how to get a license. These people are insane, okay? Everybody knows that black people have freaking IDs and licenses. Everybody does. So, like everything else with the Democrats, they turn it into a racist thing. And I want to see the SAVE Act passed, including it in the spending bill. So pretty sure Congress will pass it. Where it goes from there, I don't know, but that's good for the Republicans if it passes in the House, because that'll help a lot of congressmen running for office. Back over this way. So here I am today, walking with this big jug. I get this big jug, 4-gallon looks like. Spring Valley water. No, 5 gallons. It says 5 gallons on here. This is an honest 5-gallon one. Something we do at the range sometimes is you're side by side with somebody else with a rifle each, and then you count down. You go 3, 2, 1, shoot. And you both shoot at the same time and pick a different spot on the water jug. Somebody picks the middle or the bottom, somebody more in the middle towards the top, and they really explode nicely. Hi, how are you? So anyways, as far as the election goes, we're getting further into the ball game. We're getting a vibe of the game. The Democrat pitcher is getting tired. And they don't have anybody they can use in the bullpen. Guy's looking at me while he's running a chainsaw. Probably shouldn't do that. He's probably wondering, like, who the hell is that walking through? No, just a neighbor from around the corner. The corner. And this person over here washing their house with a pressure washer. We just got a new pressure washer and it's freaking junk. Doesn't have very much pressure at all. I got a feeling it's got environmentalism written all over it. It's designed to use less water or something. Just like everything else today, it's freaking garbage. Wow. Beautiful day today. Now I just looked left and then right and my neck felt a little wonky, so my neck is still a little squirrely, but at least I can look up and down today without any discomfort. So it's getting better. Just a pinched nerve. So anyways, I'm very happy. I'm a happy person. I'm enjoying myself, life in general. It's really nice, quiet. So, well, I see a table out here up ahead. We'll see what that's all about. Maybe it's another table with free stuff, like cucumbers or something. That cucumber was really good. Enjoyed that. There was only 3 left in the box, so I only took 1. I didn't want to be greedy. Don't want to be greedy. So before the DNC convention, Democrats were all being arrogant because they had Kamala ahead 4, 5, 6, 7 points nationally. And now the Kamala campaign has completely lost their arrogance. And she's like, she gave a speech this weekend. She sounded panicked. So this is what I've always talked about here. See this right here? This is a refrigerator on the side of the road, and they took the door off it. There's absolutely no need to take a door off a modern refrigerator because it's sealed with a magnet. Hi, how are you? So anyway, there's no need for taking the door off a modern refrigerator. Legislation was passed a long time ago mandating that door latches on refrigerators had to be removed. So that Trump sign out here says Trump Pence. And that sign has not been there. I think they put out whatever sign they had. I could take my Trump sign that I still have, and you know, because Pence is almost like Vance, I could spray paint the PE and then take white and just put a VA and CE. I might actually do that. may actually do that. That would be pretty funny, actually. I wanted to keep the Trump-Pence one as a Suvi. Actually, I think I might have 2 Trump signs. I had another one, but after the election last time, some liberal ripped it off the lawn and tore it up because they're so nice. This was after it was revealed that it looked like Biden was going to win. So they were angry and ripped up the sign after Biden won, which was really funny. Well, not really, but it was. So these people, well, we got a security system installed now, and we'd have video of somebody doing that. I don't know how much time and effort police would make into it. You'd have to get a license plate. I think that's the big thing. Which, the way the camera would point, they would have to pull in the driveway because of the busy streets. So, license plate would be a guarantee to get on film. Even though these cameras don't use film. Well, no llamas today. I'd really like to see them out here. Get a nice good shot of them, but not today. Look at that thing. Now that's a tractor. That's a lawnmower. So the guy with the weed whacker. Everybody's mowing their properties today. It's like a symphony of lawnmowers. Head on up this way. Just got 2 miles. We just hit 2 miles. I was just thinking about that. All the horrors we saw in 2020 with the rioting and how fake and BS it was, and how the media was encouraging it for Democrats because the Democrats felt it was advantageous to have racial division in an election year. Just awful. So just reading an article today, New York State. I had to double look at it and go verify the facts, but it's the case. It's on record with the state. 75%, okay? 75% of the arrests for violent crime right now are being done by illegals. I almost didn't believe it when I looked at it. So I went and verified it. I doubled, tripled, quadruple checked it with different sources. 75% of violent crime is being done by illegals. This doesn't include drug trafficking. This doesn't include robberies, breaking into homes. This has to do with violence. So, Trump 2 months ago on a town hall type thing, I believe it was on Fox, said that you have seen nothing yet. He said this crime is going to escalate. It's going to be really bad. People have no idea, just by the sheer math of the people allowed in the country without being checked, compared to the little bit of vetting that they did do and the amount of bad people they did find that were coming in. And Trump is right. Crime is down a lot in Venezuela because they came here. Because in Venezuela, you get caught doing that, the government puts you to death. Over here, you get welfare benefits and activist district attorneys who don't want to prosecute immigrants because they feel it's disadvantageous during an election year. So now you have a Venezuelan gang running amok in Colorado. There's crime in New York State. And what you need to keep in mind is that every state in this country is now a border state. Even Montana, even Maine, places where hardly anybody lives. We took a whole bunch of immigrants in here. States like Texas took in millions, a couple million, I believe, or more. And they've been taking them in on a regular basis for years. So this is just a matter of time. And I really hate to say it. This is going to sound really awful, but the best thing that could happen to Trump right now is for migrant crime to skyrocket between now and the election. That means violence on American citizens. Nobody wants to see that. I'm not encouraging that. I'm just saying that politically, that would be extremely advantageous to Trump because Harris is an incumbent. It'll be put on her, despite the media playing defense for it. They won't be able to. And I think that would be the proverbial nail in the cover for Kamala's campaign, which is on its way there now anyways. So, just the way that is. They think all these illegals are going to be voting. Now, there's a lot of discussion about that. There is a loophole that allows illegals to register to vote when they get welfare and they get put on their benefits. There is a checkbox that you can check, and it's estimated that quite a few illegals have registered to vote, unwittingly or knowingly. But the good news is we had the same situation in the last election, and best we can tell, there really wasn't enough voting to affect the election outcome. Not really. And that we know of, I should say. I'll add that disclaimer. And they're estimating 12 million new illegals came in since Biden's been in office. Trump says it's more like 20. And personally, I think a lot of these people aren't really interested in voting in our politics. I don't think they really care enough about it. They're just here, but they would have rather stayed in their country. They don't even want to be Americans. They're getting their benefits here. So some of them might try to vote to ensure that, you know, because Democrats, I'm sure, are getting the word out. If you want your benefits to continue, vote Democrat. They're either saying it openly or hinting about it. And truth of the matter is they'll get their benefits anyway, no matter who wins. Because, you know, we're not a bunch of cruel people. Point is, they shouldn't be here. And the other thing that's a double-edged sword, I don't know how much of a factor this is going to play, but we have to look at it honestly, don't we? The Republicans and Trump are talking about mass deportation. So if you are an illegal in this country and you weren't vetted at the border, and they're talking about deporting you back to the crap hole you came from compared to these wonderful free benefits and housing you're getting here, what do you think immigrants are going to do to protect their own self-interest? They're going to vote for Kamala Harris. So we don't want illegals voting, and unfortunately the penalty for doing so is a slap on the wrist. That's the other problem. So that's why the SAVE Act is important, that Trump wants Mike Johnson to include in the spending bill and not to cave on it. You know, the Republicans always talk tough and then they have no balls. Trump has balls, okay? Big ones. He got shot in the damn face, gets up, pumps his fist to the crowd, fight, 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 instead of being a scared little person who normally, that would be a normal reaction. You get shot at, you'd want to get the hell out of there. But he realized the historical importance of it for the supporters, and basically people would have been very upset had he been severely injured or killed. Rightfully so, because that violence was definitely caused by all of this insane media hype and propaganda on gullible young minds. So he wants that SAVE Act passed to protect our elections. It's a very important thing to have done. I don't know all the details of what's in it, but it does include voter ID and making it illegal for illegals to register to vote. So it's very important. And the Democrats don't care what it is. They are going to be against anything anyway, regardless. You know, it could be giving away free bottles of red wine and bread, personally blessed by Jesus Christ himself, and they would vote against it. Just because that's what they do. They want total control over everything. They don't care about democracy. So voters have to speak their mind. So the whole point of this is call Washington, D.C. The number they have, you'll get a directory, and request to leave a message for Speaker Johnson. Don't be angry. Don't use expletives. Don't make any threats. Don't say anything stupid. Just tell him you support the SAVE Act because we need election integrity, and we're tired of seeing the Republicans cave in when things like this are attached into other bills, or whatever it is that comes to your mind, as long as you're nice and polite. So that's my public service message for today. Sorry it took 20 minutes to say it, but I'm on my walk and I need to fill the time, okay? Oh, looks like another dead squirrel. Are those just leaves? Yeah, those are leaves. Leaves! Leave me alone. Excuse me. La 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 la. Ooh. It's amazing how everybody's mowing their lawn on the same day in this neighborhood. It's got to be a fluke. Maybe it's like that horror movie there with the pods. The seed pods, these alien seed pods, infecting everybody. So they're all like this hive of like-minded, telepathic So guys, I just saw a new upload on the Paul Harrell channel. Paul Harrell is not doing good right now, folks. But they did upload some new footage of Paul Harrell was sitting in a lawn chair shooting a pistol at a target, enjoying himself. And so they had a little clip at the end of that, sitting side by side. Paul genuinely looks like a really nice fellow, considering everything he's going through. His demeanor and the tone in his voice seems to be like he's at peace, which probably isn't the case, but that's Paul Harrell. He's just always comes across as a wonderful human, and he knows his time is short. And they were talking about the name change for the channel. They said all of the Paul Harrell content was going to stay on the channel for infinity, and that new stuff would be added. His brother Pat said, I'm no Paul Harrell, but I will do my best. That's all you can really hope for. Personally, I think the channel will decline a little bit or not be as popular, but it'll still be a good channel. And I'm not really worried about that. They'll work through You know, it took years for Paul Harrell to find his groove in his presentations and things like that, and his brother is just starting doing it. So, you know, give him 4 or 5 years. You know, things will be fine. And anyway, there, Paul was suggesting changing the name of the channel to something they've not really agreed on yet, but he said something like the Paul and Pat channel, Paul and Pat Harrell channel, or Pat Harrell and Paul, or something thereabouts that resembles that, he said similarly. And so that looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to change the name of the channel. Should still have the same username to find it again. And you know, look at it this way. This is something that Paul is going to leave behind after he's gone for generations to come, to learn how to shoot and to promote good gun etiquette. So I think this will be a good thing to have on that channel for future generations. Who knows what the future of YouTube brings? I still honestly believe it's just a matter of time. I really do. That YouTube is going to block all gun channels completely, 100%, because they're going to make a full-blown anti-gun stance because they're woke. And I think the only reason why they haven't done it now is money. Right now these channels are making money with advertising, a lot of money for Google, which shows their arrogance, because it's making them a lot of money and they're over-governing everybody in an authoritarian manner, which these people enjoy doing. So I just really think that day is going to come. Matter of time. You have a whole bunch of other channels on Google making Google millions and millions of dollars that have nothing to do with firearms, and they might be more concerned about losing the gun channels to competition like Rumble and other places and losing ad revenue rather than banning them. So I don't know where they are as a corporation right now on that, but I do know that they heavily support far left extremism, wokeism, and they hate guns. They want guns banned completely. So it's a matter of time. It's just common sense. Anyways, we'll enjoy Paul Harrell's channel while it's there, and I'm sure they'll be smart enough to back it up elsewhere, or back it up on hard drives, or something. Anyways, there's a lot of other smaller websites like Gunstreamer. Rumble is really good. They've really come a long way. The other thing to keep an eye out for, I'm excited about this, is I think Elon Musk is making a big move with a lot of things right now having to do with free speech. He unveiled the new X videos, okay? Not rated X videos, but X video. It's like YouTube. He said there's a beta version available in app stores to download. I might check it out. And knowing Elon, it would be really great, because then we could actually have an honest gun channel and not worry about being policed by woke far left extremist kids, basically, that run the channels. Perfect example, that older dude that shoots black powder in the duelist den, he was just suspended for a month, 30 days. And I've had one of those suspensions. They're not fun. He was suspended for showing a project he was working on. It was a long barrel rifle, musket. It's a musket, okay? It's a friggin' black powder musket. I guess unbeknownst to Google and YouTube, black powder firearms are not considered firearms by the ATF. You can buy one online, have it shipped right to your house. You don't need an FFL. And so they do these things to tick people off, I guess. And it does tick people off. So there you have it. Anyway, he had a nice musket, and all he was doing was having a multi-series videos on the build of him building this rifle, sanding the stock, refinishing it, installing the hardware, the trigger system. You can't show any of that anymore if it's a monetized channel. And the reason why they do that on monetized channels is the same reason when you're monetized anywhere else on the internet, is you're representing the company that you are posting on, and they have an agreement with their advertiser that this is going to be shown, that won't be shown. They don't want their products marketed to this demographic, and they adhere to that because that's how advertising is. It's always been that way, so that's nothing new. But so I can see their argument on censoring gun channels with regard to affecting their revenue from advertising. But they also are being pushed by woke politics. So it's a no-win situation for gun channels, is my point. The gun channels are going to lose, okay? That's it. All these corporations like McDonald's, Burger King, pick any corporation these days, it doesn't matter. They are far left extremists. They promote neo-Marxism, socialism. Black Lives Matter is an example. Climate stuff is another example. And these globalists who own these corporations want guns banned in the United States. So it's just a matter of time. The only thing stopping them is they don't want to lose elections over it for Democrats. Because despite all the freaking hoopla, places like Maine, we like our guns here. Even the Democrats do. They don't want their guns banned. Or assault rifles. Because the Democrats here own AR rifles. Okay, so they're not fooling anybody with that. That's why the Democrat here, Jared Golden, was not... Wow, that's getting bad. That is a big hollow spot in the road here. I sent them a video on it. I guess they don't believe me. That's going to be a serious problem where somebody's going to blow a tire out hitting that. Eventually that's going to cave in. Thankfully we haven't had a whole lot of rain. But that's a matter of time too, because I think we're going to have a rainy weekend this weekend. Both days, actually. We might actually get our shooting day screwed. We might get screwed out of shooting this weekend. We'll play it by ear, see what happens. I want to go shooting because we get jugs to shoot. I've been finding a whole bunch of jugs on the side of the road while I'm walking. I've been picking them up, and they're really accumulating. So it's what I call shoot cycling. You go buy one of these full of water, it's like $5. There. So Anyways, hope everybody's having a beautiful start to the week. Today is Tuesday. So there you have it. Another flag flying over here. Life is good. Hope it is for you too. There's too much bitching and complaining going on in the world. It really is. There is a lot of stuff to bitch and complain about, but I've always been an optimist. You know, cup isn't half empty, it's half full, that sort of thing. Maybe we'll fill it tomorrow. You know, things like that. You know, and then we see things like this. That is a syringe pack. And here we have a discarded syringe. I gotta break that needle off. These friggin' people, man. There we go. Somebody discarded their syringe on the side of the road. Makes me wonder if they pulled over and shot up and then just threw it out there. Nice neighborhood like this. You know, why is there a syringe on the side of the road? That's the kind of stuff that burns my biscuits. Anyways. Yeah, I'm always an optimist. You know, something happens where, let's say, you know, I blow up my right hand shooting because something blows up, and you know, like a receiver on a rifle explodes or whatever the reason, and you know, I lose my trigger fingers. Say, well, could have been worse. I could have lost all my fingers, or you know, if I didn't have a left hand, I could still shoot. I got my left hand. That'll give me something new to practice. So, you know, there's always different ways to look at bad things. So, anyways, did not enjoy seeing a syringe discarded on the side of the road. I don't know if people think those are biodegradable and they just go away with time, but you know, what if they have a blood-borne disease and some kid walking barefoot steps on that, or somebody else? It's like, come on, man, how inconsiderate do you have to be? But we do have a drug problem in Maine, as do many rural states, actually. So there you have it. There it is. So the debate is coming up in just a few days, September 10th. Today's the 3rd. It's gonna be next Tuesday. It's gonna be a big night. And the vibe I'm getting from the Kamala campaign is she doesn't want to do it. So she'll either try to get out of it or she'll do it. So we'll see what she does. She doesn't want the mics muted because she wants Trump to talk while she's talking so she can put her hand up and say, "Excuse me, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. I'm speaking." She did that 3 million times with Mike Pence, trying to control the narrative and make it look like I'm a woman in control. Don't talk over the black lady, white person. How dare you? So she doesn't want the mics muted. They all thought that was going to be a wonderful thing, shutting Trump up when Biden was in that debate. And they would have been better off with Trump yapping. So I really hope they have muted mics. I got to look up what the final rules are. They might not even settled on them yet. You know, the Kamala campaign's been complaining about the mics. They want the mics not to be muted because they want Trump to be Trump, and they think that's a winning strategy. And I have to tell you, that's not Trump's strong point. He's not going to look good against a black woman talking over her and saying things like she's dumb, and but that's what he's going to do. So he needs to be very professional, not call her dumb, not fall into any of that, because this is probably the only debate we're going to have. The only way we will have another one is if it goes really bad for Kamala. I smell weed. Somebody is smoking weed. I can smell it. Yep, that's what that is. So it's real funny how the media has been accusing Trump of flip-flopping. Trump hasn't really flip-flopped. What he's done is he's taken more of a less hardline approach to abortion. But he said the same thing 3-4 months ago. You know, he said we got to win elections. We have to come up with a point where the life is a life and it's okay to have an abortion. We got to find some middle ground there. Because there is scientific evidence where the brain is not developed yet enough to actually, you know, where the fetus, when you kill it, basically, doesn't feel pain. It doesn't have its brain developed yet. And then there's a point where that's not the case, and nobody wants to do that except Democrats. They don't care, you know. So Trump wants to find middle ground on that because he's being hurt in polling with the women vote. It's not a secret. Nobody can deny it. He does not poll well with women. Black women, white women. He probably does better with Hispanic women, Asian women, but the white woman in the suburb, nope, they absolutely hate him. And now with this abortion thing, the last poll I saw 25% of voters feel that it is an extremely important issue. So that's a quarter of the voters. And that's something important to women. Now, are women going to say, okay, well, I'll have to compromise on abortion with Trump, but he's going to take transgender bullshit out of the school that's messing my kids up. And I'm tired of people's kids coming home with purple hair saying they're non-binary and they want to lop their boobs off. So there's a lot of parents out there concerned about that, and they're afraid to say anything. Because if they say anything, they'll be transphobic. You're being a transphobe. And then in some states, if you prevent your kid from doing that, they will brand you as an unfit parent and call Child Protective Services on you. And they say that you are endangering a child by not allowing them to cure their mental illness by chopping their boobs off. So it's a really messed up thing, and that's the thing with neo-Marxist gender ideology. They always center it around peer pressure and public opinion and public shaming. That's how the Germans got the entire country to be okay with shipping Jews off to God knows where. Nobody cared. They're just gone. Because the German government, the Nazis, did a nationwide propaganda campaign that pressured citizens into compliance with things like, you know, you love Jews and hate your country. So that's what transphobia is, and these different gender ideology phobias, is to control the population like that. Now, rational people like you and I can use critical thinking and figure that out, but parents are being victims of it, and they're getting their source of information from the media, who's making it sound like this is a big normal thing. This is the new thing in America. It's not going away. The majority of people support it. And if you don't, you're a bigot. So parents are starting to wake up. People are starting to wake up. They are, okay? They are. They legitimately are. I'm not being over optimistic. The stats are there. The polling is there. This is their big chance in this election. Talking about local elections. Fire your city council, fire your mayors. Just vote Republican and see what happens, okay? Your taxes will go down, and you know, people will be fiscally more responsible in most instances. It's not going to be perfect because the system right now is so financially in trouble for everybody. I'm not even sure it can be fixed by anybody. Raising taxes and continuing to waste money, though, doesn't fix anything. So I guess that's the point I'm making. People want better value for dollar with their tax dollars. That's what they want. They want results. So they're tired of Democrats fixing things by raising taxes, only to waste all that money, and then they're in a deficit again because of new spending. So anyway, we got pumpkins out. Halloween's coming, folks. Halloween is a-coming. So we're gonna head on back. I don't know how much battery I got left. According to this, I got 7%. So I'm gonna stop and change the battery right now. All right. Put a fresh battery in. You UPS guy recognized me because we are in the neighborhood. Anyways, we'll mosey on down the road. I'm going to cross over onto the sidewalk over there. Down this way before. 4.5 miles. About a half mile left of the walk before I turn it off. There's that garden. Got some squash. Looks like he's plucked his tomatoes and now he's got cherry tomatoes growing. So he plucked some of his tomatoes, but not all of them. So there you have it, fresh vine tomatoes right in your own yard. My older brother does that too. That's pretty cool actually. Kinds of acorns falling out of the trees. Very steep hill here. You can see the hills out here. Always nice views in Maine, pretty much everywhere. Seriously, it's one of the few states you can say that. This is the second most populated city in the state. And look, I mean, how cool is that? That's pretty cool. So anyways, this dog right here, minding his own business, or her business. Yep, that's him. That's him right there. That is the state representative. The state representative. That's my state representative. He's the one that voted in favor of gun control with the 72-hour wait period. Like a schmuck. Across the street. You can hear the power steering pump whining. Oh, we'll walk a little ways up here and then we'll sign off. Looks like they finally got this fence built. Took them forever. Whoever this contractor was took way too long to do it. So they're obviously not getting paid by piecework.
All that water?
No, I found this on the way back.
Oh.
I'm picking it up so it won't be garbage on the road. I'm not going to tell her I picked it up so I could shoot it. I just told her I was picking it up off the road to pick up litter. Completely untrue. Sort of, I guess. I'm shoot cycling. It's going to be recycled. It's going to go in the proper trash place. But we're going to have fun with it first. There's a lot of lawn mowing going today. I've already done ours, so it's going to be set for another 3-4 weeks. This time of year it doesn't grow too fast unless you get a lot of rain, which we might still get some rain. So anyways, hello. Well, that was a nice hello. Seemed like a nice lady. There's another landscaping trailer here. Somebody's mowing somewhere on that lawn out there. City of Lewiston. I want to see if they made any progress on these fenced-in courts up ahead, and then I'll sign off. Hello.
Hi.
So we'll see what's on the where they painted that newly made asphalt fenced-in court. Some old guy getting some exercise, always a good thing. And all the kids playing up here. Acting weird. And we just hit 5 miles. Hi. So we just hit 5 miles. Another woman up here with a dog. She's crossing, or she's just going in the road. She's putting her dog on her other side. So Logic dictates to me that she knows that dog sometimes doesn't like people. So she's keeping him on a short leash close to her, which is what you should do anyways. Probably for self-defense purposes too. Hi. Pretty dog.
Oh, thank you.
The dog's having a good day. So we'll head up this way. We'll sign off shortly. I just want to see if those courts, what are those courts going to be? Is it going to be some kind of racket game? Are they going to put in posts for badminton? Or is it going to be for hockey? Is it going to be a helicopter pad? Probably not the helicopter pad, but it is next to the fire department. It's on their property, so it might be a recreation thing for the firefighters when they're on call in between, when they need to get some recreation to kill the time. At fire station number 4, according to that sign on the front. Oh, they got something taped off up here, and they got red tape, orange flags hanging off. What the hell are they doing up here? Let's go take a look-see. Yeah, right there up ahead. Let's see what the hell they're doing. What are they doing? What are they doing up here? Well, they got an excavator. They're excavating something. Well, now they got white lines painted in, so this is definitely not a helicopter pad. That is... looks awfully small to be tennis, doesn't it? It's not like a full court. What's that game they call it? Pickleball or something like that. I don't know. Don't know what kind of sport would use that. But they have these flags here for some reason. It's flagged off. Double flags. Like they're going to do something in between. They're going to put a fence out here, maybe? What are they doing? Don't know what the hell that is. Maybe it's, this might sound really crazy, but I see that handicapped accessible. I'm wondering if that's going to be some kind of athletic thing for people that are disabled, wheelchairs. I guess we'll find out, won't we? I looked online, I couldn't find any information on it. Well, anyways, heck, thanks for walking with me. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Take care of one another. Protect yourselves against criminal elements which are brewing, and is going to be a problem for everybody in all communities. So, if you're on the fence about owning firearms, now is the time. Learn how to use it. And God bless everybody. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe, share the content, and have a beautiful week. Bye. Bye-bye, everybody.